Hey guys, I'm Keith, this is Naj, and welcome to Mortal Kombat 10 1 year later, aka How to Kill Your Franchise. So, Mortal Kombat 10 released, I think, almost exactly 1 year ago. It was like first week of April.
First week of April.
What did you think whenever it came out?
Why the hell was it so cheap on PC for the first time?
Like, wait, $8?
But I thought that it was maybe like just the most great looking game I've seen in a while when I first booted it up.
Yeah, I mean, so it came out and it had some problems with PC. Yeah. We both experienced those. Multiple times.
Some maps were just unplayable.
Yeah. Multiple times they would push like 15 gigabyte updates that would just break the game, destroy your saves, bring it back. I think I downloaded like 60 gigs in like one night just for like patches. But then once they got it fixed, it was a solid fighting game. In my opinion, it's one of the best fighting games I've ever played.
Believe it or not, it's the first fighting game I've ever invested in, and I was sold. Like I put time in on certain characters, and I actually became not great at the game, but semi good.
Characters, plural.
Cassie Cage,
and
man.
Cassie Cage only.
And yeah, so like I fell in love with Mortal Kombat 10, and
I mean, it was fantastic. It played smoothly. Some of the new characters were really good. Aaron Black.
You mean John Marston?
Yeah, John Marston. What was another good one? Taquita, I didn't really care about. Cassie Cage was a good character.
Cassie Cage
Jackie Briggs, I don't care about.
Jackie Briggs is
an awful character. It's just
an awful character, but I mean, she can throw some haymakers.
They brought back like a lot of the best characters in my opinion. You had your normal Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage.
Scorpion's as OP as ever.
Kind of stuff. Oh yeah, it was awful. But then, they released the first DLC pack, and it had, what was in that again? Refresh my memory. That was Tanya, Tremor.
Wait, Jason was in the second one,
Jason
right?
was in the first one.
He was in the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think, was it Jason and Predator? Okay, so half of the DLC was guest characters.
Yep.
Which, I don't really mind guest characters.
Actually, I love the guest characters.
Like,
I mean, it just adds more variety to the game.
But now there have been 8 fighters over 2 DLC packs, and literally half of those have been guest characters.
Does that upset you?
A little bit. Like, hardcore Mortal Kombat fans don't want guest characters.
That's the thing. This is the first Mortal Kombat I've really invested time into,
like,
so I mean, I don't mind them myself.
I don't know, give us Cabal, give us Fujin, Rain, like any of those awesome older characters. I don't really care about like guest characters. That's to bring in the casual audience, I think. Like, oh look, we can do
I'm very casual over
here, man. But that just really, I don't know.
But no, I mean, I feel what you're saying because I mean, if it was any other game, I mean, like Metal Gear Solid 5, like if it's things that the hardcore fans aren't used to, then they're catering to another audience, and it makes most of the people that are buying the game unhappy.
And then we get to Mortal Kombat XL.
Slippery slope.
And Combat Pack 2. Combat Pack 2. They announce it and they don't say it's not going to come out on any console because they're like, we released this for 3 consoles, so we're going to bring it out on all 3.
Yep.
And then they announce it, everybody all hyped up. They say better netcode, better performance, new fighters, some cool new fighters. And then they basically come out, they put the game on Steam sale for really cheap.
Really cheap. Even though it was already really cheap from, third-party key sites. But.
And they're like, hey, this is really cheap. There's new content coming out soon for it. Buy this game. They wait 3 weeks after that and then say, oh, by the way, you're not getting any of this new content. And the Steam refund period is 2 weeks.
Yep.
So they basically come out and say, hey, buy this game.
Wait, so like even if cause I know it's either 2 weeks or 2 hours into the game.
If it passes 2 weeks.
Then.
Yeah, the way the system works is no questions asked refunds are less than 2 hours of gameplay before 2 weeks time.
So 2 weeks over,
But after 2 weeks, you kind of have to barter with the specific support technician you're talking with. And they come out and say this, that none of this new content's coming out for it. And the game sold well on PC. I think globally it was somewhere around 800,000 units.
Yeah, I mean, which for one platform.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
being
really
that it
good.
came out on 3 platforms, I mean, 800,000 on one platform is
And
pretty.
I think
pretty
today it was what 500 people.
good. 500 people
total?
playing like at the time that we looked at, which was about maybe like 12 o'clock.
And I mean, like, Warner Brothers just dropped the ball so hard on this because they come out with a game that's fairly broken on launch. The internet doesn't
Not
work.
as broken as Arkham, but
Right,
I mean,
but the net code doesn't work, and for a fighting game, that's important.
that's essential.
So, broken game, graphical glitches, net code. So then people stop playing it because like this game's broken. Like, why would I play a broken game? And then they turn around and say, why would we release new content for this? Nobody plays our game. Our player base is so small. Why aren't anybody playing our game? Damn PC players. And then they just pull support for everything. So basically, 1 year later, Mortal Kombat 10 on PC is dead.
Yeah, like I'm to the
I don't
point
know
now
how it is
where
on consoles.
no, on console it's alive and going well, but when you search for a match on PC now, it's like
No, you can't find one. And if you do, it's somebody in South America, and you get
be nice.
No. Not going there. It's someone in South America, you get 3 punches in, and then it just like, the match just stops because the network, you're how far away.
But yeah, like I'm to the point where if I search for a match now, it searches worldwide, and I still can't find anybody for like maybe at least a good 10 minutes, which is kind of ridiculous.
There were just so many oversights on that game. Like they decided that people didn't want voice chat
just like
on the PC version, or no way to communicate. Which I mean, for a fighting game, that's okay. Fighting game, people in fighting games can get kind of hostile during matches.
Hostile.
A little hostile. So I mean, I completely understand why they did that, but there were just so many oversights on this game, and basically, the way that they announced this and advertised it was like Mortal Kombat 10 is like I feel like the way that they came out with it, they wanted it to be like a long-lasting fighting game that like tournaments and everything used like for a long time, and then they basically come out and say like, hey, PC version's dead. We're not going to support it because nobody plays it. When almost 1 million people bought it, but they didn't play it because it was a broken game.
Yeah, and I feel as though on console right now, on PS4 and Xbox One, like I say, it's more than alive than ever. But I mean, the PC version, people have just gone on to new things. Street Fighter V and.
But Street Fighter V was so underwhelming. Like its launch just kind of came and passed.
I was kind of hoping that would have brought people back to Mortal Kombat, but it just hasn't happened.
That was my thing. Like well, Mortal Kombat 10's broken. Better go to Street Fighter. Street Fighter's janky, so let's go to Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is on the Universal Windows platform, which is awful. So like PC,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, it is. So I mean, like, there's just nowhere to go when it comes to fighting games. And I really I waited for this game for just years. I was like, I can't wait for this to come out. It's gonna be fantastic, excellent. And now I feel like I'm forced to buy a console because they decided that they could take my money for a game and then 1 year later just be like, well, we're not going to support it anymore. You don't get any of that new content. I think that they cleared up any glaring issues in the past games. I mean, obviously the 3D games were a little weird. Mortal Kombat 9 was a great game, but I think 10 just kind of got it right. And then
it just
within a year, the game just died on one platform.
It's just sad that sometimes it comes down to what platform you play on when it comes to these video games these days. But
that's the thing.
It's just the time that we're in.
And it's sad because we probably won't see Mortal Kombat 11 for
probably to like the next generation, maybe
years and years and years. So this is going to be what people are stuck with. So if you want to play it, you better make sure you're on Xbox One or PlayStation 4. Or Android, I guess, because they announced that they released it for that.
And iOS.
And iOS, so I have more luck playing it on my phone than I do on my really expensive computer.
Well, I mean,
that's where we are now.
You just bought a console.
Thanks, Warner Brothers. No, I won't.
Whatever.